Hey guys, it's Dragon Rockstar here, and I'm coming with a Shaddoll Invoked deck profile. Now this is mainly my variant, as well. It's a similar build to Team 6 Samurai X1. Those of you do know that I'm a big fan of both him, as well as the Team APS crew, and Asia Persuasion for making amazing deck profiles and making amazing videos, period. So I'm giving a shout out to all of them, as well as thank you Team 6 Samurai X1. I needed a little bit of a boost and a couple ideas to play my variant of my variant of my deck. I do play a few different cards, both in the side deck, extra deck, and main deck, so there's a little bit of changes. Um, I think the deck is 46 cards, I believe, or 45 cards, around that range. So it's pretty consistent. Um, it runs smoothly, and it works for both going first and second. So the engines that I run both help out in that way. So shoutouts to Team 6 Samurai X1. That deck was amazing and crazy, so thank you for making that video. You just basically give me an idea to run my deck. But further ado, like I said, I'm coming with the extra deck, main deck, and side deck. So let's just go ahead and get started. Right? Oh, little sneak peek. For the main deck, obviously the Shaddoll monsters. I'll play it right here. 2 Beast, 2 Hedgehogs, 2 Susquanas, and the 1 Dragon. Now, Team 6 Samurai plays 2 Dragons. I only play 1 because around where I am, back row's not much of a threat. I haven't seen much of back row heavy decks right away, but they are a hard deck to go against. Shaddoll Dragon's amazing in this certain format and in this certain way, but in my personal opinion, I only want a main deck 1 Shaddoll Dragon. If I had a chance, I'll probably side deck another Shaddoll Dragon or main deck another one, but suddenly I don't have the space. But all these are really consistent. I think they're all good at 2, except Dragon, so they can help you out in certain combos and help you out against certain opponents. So this is the standard Shaddoll monsters. For the newest Shaddoll monsters, you got Shaddoll, Wendy, as well as Neil Shaddoll, Ariel. Like Team 6 Samurai said, this is really the best card. Sometimes you want to see it, but you don't really want to see it all the time because you mainly want to use it for the combo piece. And then Neo Shaddoll Ariel is also used for the combo in my variant. A little bit more different. There's been times where I actually want to play 2 of these because of the certain way I play it, but overall it's pretty powerful as it is. That's it for the Shaddolls. Obviously, we do play Alistair and Invoker. I play it at triple. This is just standard. This is basically another way to get another fusion spell card to your hand as fast as possible, so this is the best way as possible. I like it no matter what, so I think 3 is always perfect in the deck. For me, I do play, for my only hand trap, I play triple Gamma, and then 1 driver. Those of you who are wondering what's on them, what's on it is the Team 6 Samurai X1, or not Team 6 Samurai, Team APS. They autographed my Gammas when I was down at YCS 200. Those of you who have watched that previous video, you can go back to that. That's pretty old, but it's one of the best times I've ever been to a YCS, and the very first time I've ever been to a YCS, and coming in that place. I think it was 360 something place. That's pretty good and pretty awesome out of 2,000 something people. But Cypher and Driver is amazing. You know, as a one-off. There's been times where actually I would like to play 2 drivers just in case, because sometimes you always banish off the 1 copy, but you always need it for that negate. But Gamma is one of the best hand traps, in my personal opinion, in the game, because if they try to stop your Shaddoll fusions, your invocations, your Elf Shaddoll fusions, then you need a way to stop them. So as soon as you play Shaddoll fusion, and they try to ash it, you can gamble that and bang it. It's just basically how back in the day when Fairy Tale Snow was a thing. and grass was a thing. Those of you that have watched those videos and those deck profiles, it was amazing format, and it was an amazing time. So, Konami basically banned both cards, which, in my personal opinion, didn't really need to be necessary, but they did. But this is pretty much all the hand traps you really need, in my personal opinion. Then, obviously, he played one of my favorite engines completely in the whole entire Yu-Gi-Oh game is the Mechanite engine. So he played triple purple, double blue, and then the one eclipse. There's been times where I actually might want to run another Mechanite monster because sometimes searching out eclipse or searching out purple is probably not going to help out. But other than that, this engine's pretty good, and I won't really take out any of them for anything. Like I said, this is probably a 45 card deck, I believe, so it's consistent as it is. In his variant, he runs 40. My variant, I run 45. But these are pretty much all the standard Mechanite monsters you would run in this deck, and they're pretty broken as it is. Purple let me go ahead and, because most people don't really know the Mechanites on my channel, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you a couple pointers. Purple, basically, you banish it. It's a quick effect. So if they try to stop your, the only way they can stop that is with another quick effect. But purple basically allows you to banish itself to search a Mechanite monster, and then the best part is it'll come back so that you can get an OTK throughout that. Blue Sky is basically a way to, it basically allows you to search for a Mechanite monster in the same column, and then Eclipse is basically your move away. So it's like move to the right, or move to the left next to Team 6 Samurai. Those of you that are probably curious, look up Team 6 Samurai X1 and check out his Shaddoll variant deck profile. Mine's similar to his, but in a little bit of a different perspective. But these are really good. This is a really good engine. Then I do play the clowns. My variant, I play double damage juggler, one hat trigger, and then one trick clown. This is pretty much all you're gonna need. It's pretty standard. There's been times where you would play a third damage juggler. If you guys have the room, you could probably run another damage juggler. But in my personal opinion, this is basically a standard clown engine. This clown engine's always been fluctuating in my other deck profiles, like my Lightsworns and other things of that nature. Stay tuned. I will be making a Lightsworn deck profile. I'm still tweaking out the extra deck and a few other things in the main deck to get it to the right perspective, but overall, it's pretty good. The Clown Engine is always standard. That's it for all the monsters. For the spell cards, I play triple Magical Meltdown, and then the one Terraforming. My personal opinion, this is pretty good of an engine. This runs pretty well. There's been times where I might want to run set rotation and maybe Magical Meltdown, as he did previously, as many other people have been playing. But in this variant, I don't want to shut down my opponent. I just want to have fun. I want to see what my opponent is capable of. Those of you that's been watching me, that's usually what I usually do. Is I make decks based on if I can make it competitive, and if I can, I want to make it where I can hurt my opponent, but not completely hurt my opponent, because I still want to be playing a game. Like, I don't want to go first turn win. So I play triple Magical Meltdown and one Terraforming. That's all you really need, in my personal opinion. Magical Meltdown basically helps you search out Alistair the Invoker. The Alistair the Invoker helps you search out all your fusion-based spell cards. So, yeah. For the fusion-based spell cards, obviously, I play triple Invocation, triple Shaddoll Fusion, and then triple Shaddoll Fusion. And I do play another card, but I'll get to explaining on that. Invocation basically is this, you search off both of Alistair the Invoker, so it helps you out with more combo plays. And this is a regular fusion-based spell card, so basically you can use the cards from your hand, I believe, or your field. I think it is that. Yeah. Basically, this is basically like a polymerization, but it's only from your hand. Shaddoll Fusion is basically from both deck and hand or field, so it's all three in one. And then Shaddoll Fusion is basically the same thing, except from the deck. Shaddoll Fusion is basically the one card you really want to see if you're going second, because sometimes your opponent will end up on the board with a link deck, and you basically have a way to get around that just basically by using Shaddoll Fusion. Now, Shaddoll Fusion is basically if you're going, say if you went, this is basically another good card if you're going second, because you could set it and then pass to your opponent, and then use it during your opponent's turn just to kind of screw them up. And Invocation is just basically basic. Sorry. These are basically all the fusion-based spell cards you really need in your deck. I wouldn't run any more. I wouldn't run less. It's all standard. Like I said, they're pretty powerful as it is, and you don't really need any other fusion spell cards. But in my personal opinion, I run another spell card in the deck that's basically another way to combo off, or to make sure your stuff goes through, or things of that nature. Plus, if you're going second, this is another way to bait out your opponent's negates, so they can that way you can be able to win the game a little faster. So I play 2 Instant Fusion. Those of you are probably going to question, why do I play Instant Fusion? You guys will see in the extra deck why I do. Instant Fusion is pretty powerful. You take 1,000 life points, obviously, to special summon a level 5 or below fusion monster from your extra deck, so it's pretty powerful. In my personal opinion, sometimes it's good. It helps me out with my Shaddoll. Like, this basically helps you out with a little bit of the Shaddoll combos, and one of my combos that I use it for. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys want to see a combo video. Also, I will not be uploading the deck list. I'm sorry, due to the fact some problems with my laptops and my computers that I am not able to write out the full list or be able to put a copy of the list like I usually been doing lately, so I'm sorry for that. I will be uploading the list on the combo video. If you guys want to see a combo video, let me know. I will show you the 2 cards that you need, or 3 cards you need. Then we're going to do a couple test stands to see if we can do that combo. If you're actually curious, Team 6 Samurai has done a combo video for this deck, but my variant runs a little bit differently. My variant's more of going second, a lot more than it is going first, but the deck can both play going first or second. It's very consistent, and it basically can help out against your opponent if you use it right. But Instant Fusion, like I said, is another way to combo off and to summon the one monster in my extra deck just for going second. Then, like I said, if I am going to go first, I want to make sure my stuff goes off a little bit faster, so I play 2 Call by the Graves. Most often I don't really need Call by the Grave. I'm probably going to end up taking it out and run another different spell card or something like that. But Call by the Grave is really good just to get around those hand traps that basically like stop your Shaddoll fusions and stuff like that. Even though it leaves you with like one last card in your hand, but it's still good as it is, and I just feel like I needed to play Call by the Grave. Then I played the only trap card in the deck is Shaddoll Incarnation. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I run this trap card, self-explanatory. There's no explanation needed. This trap card's literally Bay and God for you. It's basically like you banish it as well as Shaddoll monster in your graveyard to target one card on the target one monster on the field and flip it face up or flip it face down. So it basically allows you to recycle your Shaddoll monsters. Mainly, you're gonna for the combo, you mainly want to keep your you're really gonna try to once you send Wendy to the graveyard, you're gonna activate and special summon Ariel, and then Ariel, Ariel's will be on the field, and then you were summoning out Construct. So Construct will send this. Then you're gonna use this after you link away with a few of the monsters and other cards such as the Mechanites. You're gonna end up summoning your link monster. El Shaddoll Construct is basically gonna get back one of your Shaddoll fusion spell cards, obviously. You leave this in the trap card. Then you leave the trap card. Then you're going to use the trap card to banish both Construct and itself to target one Shaddoll monster on the field, which is going to be Ariel, to flip it face up. Then Ariel is going to special summon back the Construct, and boom, you have basically combo. So this is pretty much a very, very important key piece in the deck. I am tempted of probably playing 2 of it, but overall it's pretty busted. Like, I want to see it sometimes too. Its other effect is pretty decent too. that's it for the main deck. It's pretty, in my personal opinion, standard. It works out pretty well. It's pretty consistent, like I said. Um, I would recommend to a lot of people to try to pick up these cards while you still can, and try to get your hands on these monsters and these cards. The deck is, like I said, it's pretty busted. There's no explanation to it. That's it for the main deck. So for the extra deck, it's a little same thing, but a little bit different, in my personal opinion. I do not play cross sheet. I have no. I have been looking for cross sheet for the past few weeks, ever since it came out. So I'm talking to a few friends and things of that nature, and I'm probably gonna order the card off the internet just to go to get it. So that way I can make this deck a little bit more consistent. Cross sheet is very important, as well as the Invoke Dark level 4 monster. For my variant that I want to try out, it's gonna be a little different than most variants that you see in, you know, regular formats and stuff, but it's pretty busted and it could be consistent. I'm still working on trying to get my hands on it, like I said, but for now I play in my way for this deck. So I played for the Shaddoll monsters, or L Shaddoll monsters, I played triple L Shaddoll Construct. Construct is basically the real key piece in this extra deck. Sometimes you might not always go for the third one, but it's really handy sometimes, depending on if you're going in grind game. Construct basically allows you to recycle your resources and stuff like that. Plus, it allows you to send a card from your deck to the graveyard. So mainly, you're going to send the trap card. And best part is, it's not a hard once per turn for Construct, I don't think. And you basically could just keep using its effect all throughout the game. My personal opinion, this is broken, and Konami should never brought it back, but thanks Konami, we can actually have a nice competitive deck. Also, if you're wondering, this is my only ultimate rare construct. I only got my hands on one. I will try to get my hands on 2 more if I can get, but it's going to be time. The construct is really broken. Then I played 2 Elshdaw Winda. Personal opinion, I would play 3, but 2 is pretty good. You never really go into the third one, but it's one of the best ones to play. Also, you can use the Instant Fusion to special summon this during your turn. Then you're a link away with it. Or you can use the trap card fuse with this, or not the trap card. You'll use either Shaddoll Fusion or El Shaddoll Fusion since you're going first. So this is another way to go first. Send this to the graveyard and then just go off. Then you use probably one of your trap cards, or not the trap card. What was it? You'll use, like, basically you use this just to get rid of the first copy. So you can go combo off, and maybe you might be able to bring it back. There's been times where I'm tempted on running another monster in the in the main deck, because there's so many ways I can combo off, and it could boost out consistency. But overall, I think 2 Elshdaw Winya is pretty perfect for this deck and pretty standard. That's it for my Shaddoll Fusion monsters. And now the new Shaddoll Fusion monster is pretty good too. It's consistent as well, but I don't feel like I need it or want to run it in the main deck, because it's like, in this variant, I'm basically trying to get the Invoke monster as well as some of the Shaddoll monsters effects to go off mainly more than summoning out the new Shaddoll monster. I will be coming with a variant. Let me guys know down in the comments below if you guys want to see a different variant of this deck that uses the new Shaddoll Fusion monster. And I'll be more happy to try to make a variant with that. For the Invoke monsters, I do play double Mechaba, 1 Purgatrio, and then the 1 Washu. Now, I want to play the Dark level 4 one. I don't know its specific name. You guys can let me know down in the comments below as well. But I want to play that one, and that one could pretty much boost out the deck a lot more. Mechaba is pretty standard. I only like 2. 3 is just a bit much. 1 is just a little bit hard to go into a lot. Purgatrio is basically for no TK. You'll pretty much probably banish Amirage, or say if you're going against Salamangreats, this basically can OTK your Salamangreat players. Raju is pretty much standard. It can basically it's a good card against your opponent during when you're going first, and it's another instant fusion target for the instant fusion. So it just gives me another way to special summon it put something face down, link away with it, and just go off. So it's like, it helps me out with certain combos and certain card effects. That's it for the Invoke monsters. Then I play one more fusion, which is Thousand Eyes Restrict. Now, I'm tempted on running Millennium Eyes Restrict. I do own me one. If you're not able to get yourself a Millennium Eyes Restrict, I would probably play Thousand Eyes Restrict. In my personal opinion, Thousand Eyes Restrict is amazing. It's a one card that basically says, I can take your monster and they have to negate this, which wastes their negate, and then you just combo off. Like, this is another way to bait out your opponent's negates. That's why I also play Instant Fusion, because this is another way to bait out your opponent's negates. Overall, Thousand Eyes Restrict has pulled a lot of good OTKs and a lot of good effects. I've usually linked off Thousand Eyes Restrict just to get rid of that monster, that problematic monster on the board, to help me out. So it's another way just to kind of screw up your opponent. I like it a lot, and I believe it's really consistent. I do play one XE in the deck. I do play a Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller is self-explanatory. It's basically another way to, you're mainly going to have some times where you're going to have 2 level 4s on the board. Not all the time, but most often you will. Abyss Dweller can help out with that, and Abyss Dweller can basically say, I get to stop your effect. It's also amazing and gets mirror match because they can't really use their effects during the turn, so it just basically helps out. Then you got Summoning Great Amirage as my only link one. This is where you link off Alistair and the Invoker sometimes. You'll special summon it like in the extra deck zone, and then normal summon, or like not normal summon. You'll set your invocation, and then you'll special summon one of your Mechanites, and then gives you more combos to go off. So I think Amirage is very needed in the deck. For my link 2s, since I don't play Cross Sheep and I don't have the capability of getting Cross Sheep at this time, I do play the one Nightmare Phoenix. Nightmare Phoenix is pulled through a couple times here and there. If you guys are able to get your hands on Cross Sheep, I would play it over Nightmare Phoenix. It could be helpful and it could be standard. It might be consistent as well. Sorry about that. I was trying to figure out something. I would probably recommend running Cross Sheep instead of Nightmare Phoenix if you guys are able to get your hands on it. Cross Sheep is probably going to be a very key combo piece in this deck, but overall, I think Nightmare Phoenix is pretty good as well. It basically allows you to get rid of that macro hate that this deck kind of don't like. Then my other link 2 and my last link 2, I do play the Alistair and Invoker of Madness. This is self-explanatory. This is also used for a combo piece, because once you summon your fusion monster, you discard, you can add Invocation to the Book of Law. I'm tempted to run in the Book of Law as well, because I can, I believe I can tribute Mechaba to summon out Purgatrio. So, like, the Book of Law basically allows me to, if I've already used Mechaba's effect, and I have a Book of Law set, I can tribute Mechaba, especially summon Purgatrio, or summon Raju during my opponent's turn, or something like that, and just kind of mess them up. I think that's what the Book of Law does, but I will let you guys know in a certain combo video, or a certain way, if that actually works the way I think it is. Overall, Alistair has basically proven a lot more than Cross Sheep in my personal opinion, but Cross Sheep is very important to get your hands on. And then for my last extra deck monster, I do play the one Boarsword. Boarsword's just for game. Same as Purgatrio, they're both just for game. They're both there for me to get an OTK off faster. So it's pretty standard, in my personal opinion. Like I said, the extra deck is pretty consistent. Like I said, I might end up running... I might end up running Millennium Eyes Restrict, or any other way to make it where my stuff will go through without hand traps, like back row hate, hand trap hate. So yeah. Overall, for the rest of my for the side deck, it's pretty standard. I do play a decent amount of monsters for my side deck, and in a little bit of a different perspective than most people would probably run their side decks, but in my personal opinion, I think this is a pretty good side deck. For most of my decks, I have a specific side deck for those decks, so depending on what I run in the main deck and everything will determine on what a side deck. Sometimes I might run 2 1 card, or 2 of one card, 2 of another card, and then my side deck runs side deck 3 of that different card that's similar to those cards or something like that. So my side decks have been switching up based on the meta. As you can see, I don't run Evenly Match, Imperms, Twin Twisters, DD Crows, and Drone Lockbirds in the main deck. I would if I wanted, if I desperately need them, but right now in this current format, it's better if you know what you're going against, so you can side deck the perfect cards to do that. So that's why I also put 45 cards in the main deck, because sometimes you might not always use Insta-Fusion, sometimes you might not always use Call by the Graves, you know, things of that nature. So those are cards you can side deck and take out and run your you know, your hand traps and stuff. I will probably end up doing a 60 card variant of this deck, maybe, just depending on how I can figure out consistency issues and things of that nature. I might do a 50 card instead of a 60 card, who knows. So stay tuned for that as well. My Light Horns will also be coming out, because I know a lot of you guys are curious about those and are really wanting to see like a pure Lighthorn or some other variant of Lighthorns. Just let me know down in the comments below as well. Without further ado, let's just go ahead into the side deck. Obviously, I played the triple Drone Lockbirds, triple DD Crows, and then triple Snooky Dogwood. In my personal opinion, I think these are all amazing hand traps in this personal format. Drolls is amazing; it gets a lot of rogue decks as well as spirals. It's sometimes good against alter guys, just depending on what they search and stuff like that. DD Crows is good on every level. It's basically good against pretty much a lot of decks. It helps you get rid of those problematic cards you can't deal with, and it basically kind of stops your opponent on combo. And then the reason why I played the Snooky Dogwood is because in game 2 or 3, you usually want to just try to win the game. So this is basically like a maxi, but instead of you gain life points. For every effect monster they special summon, you gain life points equal to that effect monster. So it doesn't really matter what they do. You're just basically gaining life points. The sad thing is, if you don't gain life points off of that, so basically you'll take a big hit. But in this day and age, I think Snooky Dogwood is amazing. If you guys can't get your hands on Snooky Dogwoods or Drone Lockbirds, I will probably run Retaliating Sea. Retaliating Sea is pretty good as well. So if you guys can't get your hands on like Drone Lockbirds, I will probably run 3 Retaliating Seas. Their commons are cheap. The super rare obviously is going up in price, so I would probably recommend getting your hands on the commons if you can. That's also an amazing side deck card. They're really consistent as well. In this deck, it doesn't really matter. You mainly want to stop your opponent from banishing. You stop your opponent from doing their combos. That way you can do your combos. So that's why I recommend side decking these. So yeah. For the rest of the side deck, I do play for the only spell card I side deck is Triple Twin Twister. I might end up taking these out, maybe running Cosmic Cyclones as well, or I might take something out on my side deck and side deck Cosmic Cyclones, because back row is starting to become more of a pain in the butt for a lot of decks. So that's why I can't really get my hands on. If I had my way, I would probably run 2 dragons. I'm probably going to end up running a variant where I do play 2 dragons in the main deck. Excuse me there. So it's going to take me time to figure that out. But yeah, in my personal opinion, I think Cosmic Cyclone would be really amazing to main deck or side deck, either or. It could be broken in personal opinion, but it's pretty good. Yeah, but Twin Twister is just self-explanatory. Back row hate is a major thing. If you guys have Lightning Storm, I would play, like, maybe, say if you only have 1 Lightning Storm, I would probably learn the Lightning Storm and 2 Twin Twisters or something like that. Or if you have 3 Lightning Storms, I would run it more than Twin Twister. If you have, you know, 2 Lightning Storms, I would probably play that and 1 Twin Twister. You know, things of that nature. Lightning Storm is also amazing. As well as Cosmic Cyclone, you got also the other thing I use against back row decks, and it's the Trap card, and the last card I run on my side deck, which is Triple Evenly Match. Evenly Match is also amazing. They're both good against back row decks, and they stop your opponents. Like, if you're going against Altergeist or Subterriers, this is basically another way to clear out your opponent's board. It's very standard, and it helps out a lot. If you guys have room, if you guys want to main deck these side deck cards, you could. Personal probably would, probably wouldn't. If you would the main deck Evenly Match, I would probably play 2 in the main deck, not 3, because sometimes you're never going to see it at 3. That's usually how it works in my variant for some odd reason. Usually, sometimes the 3 ups I don't really see as often, especially if they're really broken. So I will probably main deck 2 evenly matches and 2 twin twisters if you really want to main deck them. But in my personal opinion, they're really standard and they really help out against a certain format. In my personal opinion, these are really good cards. This is a really good deck to try to get your hands on if you guys are able to or not able to. This deck is really consistent. I do play a 45 card deck here. Those of you that have been watching this channel for a while, you guys all know I like running 60 cards and running consistency and make sure the decks combo off correctly and everything. If you guys want to see a 60 card variant of this deck, let me know down in the comments below and I'll try my best. I'm trying to get my hands on a few more cards to run a 60 card variant for you. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Also, this is like going second more. This is like a going more second build, so you can basically break your opponent's board so you can combo off. If you are going first, the Mechanite engine, it's kind of dead, so you probably won't pull that engine off a lot. But the deck is really consistent anyways it goes. So you guys let me know in the comments below what you guys think I should do, or if you guys see something that's different or something that is wrong and I should change, let me know down in the comments below. If you guys really do like this profile, also let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate if you guys let me know in the comments below. I do love reading your comments. And those of you that probably have comment down in my videos, you know that I will give you a heart and let you guys know that I really appreciate your comments, depending on what they are, depending on how you said it. I would always appreciate those. And yeah, pretty much also give a shout out. I'm giving a shout out to Team 6 Samurai X1. He's the one that actually basically made this deck a little bit broken and made it a little bit easier for me to see the different perspectives and stuff like that. His combo video, I will not be able to post it down in the links down in the description below. But if you guys, like I said, look up Team 6 Samurai X1, you might actually find his videos and everything like that. Also, still giving a shout outs to both Team APS and Asia Persuasion. You guys actually made me the man I am today, making these beautiful videos for my subscribers as well. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And like always, Dragon Rockstar is signing out. Peace.